Hi, Isabella. You want to hear a really funny story? I actually already recorded you a lesson, except I forgot to hit the record button. Oh, that's just the way I like to do things sometimes. It's hard to be me. Okay, so I'm going to kind of fly through it because I've already done your lesson. So at least I don't have to like think about things, right? I just like will know what to do. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm updating your lesson notes. As I talk about them, I'm going to email the lesson notes with this video in it and some other things. You get to this when you can. I don't know how busy your summer is at this moment, if you're sitting around finding stuff to do, or if you are like still waking up early and being really busy, or if you're going to New York. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing. I don't even know when your next lesson is, but I know that your mom scheduled some. So this is for you to do when you can. If you can do any of this before next lesson, that would be fabulous. So the first thing, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so that you can see some of the lesson notes that I have. Okay, so the first one is piano gymnastics. We're going to talk about piano gymnastics. And I am like 98% sure that you did your minor arpeggios. Your major arpeggios, we do need to start those like sooner than later. We're starting them next lesson, but if you can look at C and G major, actually, what are all the white key words? C, G, F. Is that it? Yeah, I think those are our straight line chords. So C, G, and F. You can look at them in your scale book. You should have one of those scale books that we have. I think you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. But if you do have the book that and you know what I'm talking about, that's what it is. But if you can look in your scale book and get started, I think that would be great. I'm almost positive that you have that book. And if you do these major arpeggios hands apart, that's going to help us get moving because we have 12 of them to learn. And I really would love for you to have these before the school year starts and before it gets crazy so that we're not like, freaking out over it. So my plan would be that we would do C, G, and F. And then when you come, I would actually flip you to the most difficult ones. So we're starting the most difficult ones here and then they just get easier. But at least the C, G, and F will get you started. They give you something. For the theory exam, I'm not going to teach you anything new. I want you to go back through your boom cards and just refresh yourself on what you know, what you remember, what you don't remember. Make note of any questions that you might have. We can go through those. Okay, so for your Clementi Sonatina, as I was telling you in the last video that did not record, um, I have the older edition. And the older edition, so yours should not look like this. Yours should look like this. I have the Etude. I have the newer Etude edition, but I don't for the repertoire. So in here, I have three movements. I have movement one, two, and three. I don't know which movement you have, so I cannot get you started on it, but that's okay. You might have already noticed that I'm giving you some homework on this. I do this with everyone. Uh, Sorry. I really like for you to look up your own stuff. I want you to look up Museo. It was Museo Clementi. I want you to look him up, okay? And I want you to highlight or write down five things about him that you found really interesting or important. It can be either interesting or important. Um, the great thing about these composers is they were so connected with other composers, and there's a little bit of drama. I don't know why none of these TV shows have made uh, dramas out of composers, but they should, because they're very interesting. Okay, I'm going to be finding you a YouTube video on sonata form. This is something that you should know, okay? And I think it might even be, do you have this book? Do you have the Celebrate Theory book? Humor me for a moment if you do, because I'm almost positive that this is in this book. If it's not, that would be really silly. I guess it doesn't, which is really, really silly because you should know this. But that's okay. So for sonatina, we have several different there's terms. They section them in a certain way. You have an exposition, uh, you have different parts of it. Now I can't even remember, but it's pretty much like think like an A, like your A section and your B section, and then your C section, and then your A section comes again, and then you have your coda. It's the same idea, but there's fancy terms. So I'm going to send you a video on sonata form, and I want you to make note of those terms of the sections. I don't want to tell you all of them because I want you to look them up. And then what we can do, my goal for this video was to take the piece and so we could analyze it, but looks like we'll be doing that the next lesson. Okay, Witches and Wizards. Go ahead and open that up. This one, I should have taken a picture so I could section it off. I already had practice in my other practice video, but oh well. Okay, so the great thing about Witches and Wizards on page 14 is you got lots of chords. You got lots of broken chords. So first of all, I want you to think we've got a B flat. Is this in the key of B major or the key of D minor? Let me give you a moment to think. Did you say D minor? Good job. You were right. It is D minor. We have a D minor. First of all, we have one flat, right? D minor has one flat, right? Yeah. And then you have a D minor chord right off the bat. And then your resting tone, the most important one, at the very end is a D. It's pretty solid D minor to me. So if you look at measure 1 and 2 and even 3 in the left hand, first of all, notice that both of your hands are in bass clef, but you got that broken D minor chord constantly. Now, the notes with the brackets going down, because the hands are going to be merging from one staff to the next, all the rules that you know of as far as stems with the notes are kind of out the window. In this piece, you're going to have to really pay attention. No, you won't, because it doesn't matter. They still follow the rules. Okay, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. Yeah. Left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. I can't see backwards. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to be really careful because your hands are like gonna be kind of like over and taking turns. It's almost like you're mixing a potion back and forth on the piano. I've never come up with that before, and I've taught this piece a gazillion times. So what I really would love for you to do is to find your broken chords primarily in your left hand and just find them and block them. Just get to know them. This is like a new friend, somebody new at your school, and you're trying to be really nice and get to know them. You're asking them questions, just that kind of stuff. Okay, I want you to take a look at measure 9 on your third line. This is where now both your hands are in the treble clef, and your left hand's going to be kind of going back and forth over your right hand. Do you see that? So you have the C sharp, right hand's going to do that G, A, B flat, but at the same time, your left hand's going to cross over to the E. So this is a really fun part. Make sure you get that right technique, especially with the left hand going over. You don't need any of this, okay? We want nice and graceful. Drop, drop, lift, drop, lift. So I'm going to be looking for that. Make note of your fingering in measures 13 and 14 with your right hand. It's like a scale, 3, 3, okay? Then it goes back to your A section again. and then to the end. So right now, I just want you to pick out little chords, hands apart, play around, just get to know it. You don't have to really do anything beyond that, okay? So I'm happy with that. Okay, for your chord progression book, let me see if I can pause this thing and pull up my thing. Can I pause? Okay, I did get to do that. Screen sharing. Okay, chord progressions. You had, oh, goodness gracious me. So this actually would be really good for our theory. Didn't remember what we did in your lessons. Basic chords are fine. So I'm wondering if we talked about things with, like by the time we got to Scarborough Fair. I think we maybe did. Oh my gosh, where is it? There it is. Okay. So if you haven't done this one, I would like you to do it. I just told you to do some basic words. Um, the one thing that they don't do that annoys me is they don't give you a good right hand fingering, which at the same time, it's good that you learn how to do this. So I would really love for you in Scarborough Fair to mark the fingering that you think fits best with the right hand. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. So first of all, starting out, you always want to kind of look for the chord. Your right hand's going to be in some kind of chord position or like a pentascale position, right? And if you look at the starting line, it would probably make sense. Ooh, look at that. To do your one finger on the D, fifth finger on A, because you're already, your left hand's doing D minor. You're like in a D minor pentascale, right? And this fits right in. This whole phrase fits right inside, nice and neat inside of a D minor pentascale. Now, when you look at this next one, you have, you're moving A, C, D. So what is your high note? It's going to be D, and the lowest note is going to be G. So you're like in a G major pentascale. You see that? So this would be where your one finger is. Here you'd want to put your two finger. Does that make sense? Let's see where else it would move. We're just going to keep staying there. Ah, look at this. Let's go down here. We have, so your fifth finger, four, two, two, one. Ooh. Should we cross over our three? Or should we cross over our four? You do either or. I think you could do either or. I personally would do my three finger. Three, two, one. I would just skip because I mean, look, there's lots of room. You could do that. You could do your four. And down here, look at this. So we're back on that D minor kind of area. So I would do my 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cross my two over, 1, 2, 1. You could do that. Or you could do. Or you know what actually I would end up doing? Is right here. I would do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross my two over and then put my three there, two, three. That's what I personally would do. Anyway, but that's kind of like, that's how we do fingering. I don't know if I've ever talked about that before. So if you haven't practiced this song, I want you to label your right hand fingering and I want you to do it. Just basic chords. It's fine. What is next in case she's like, well, I did it. Sky Boat Song. Familiarize yourself with the melody so you can focus on the left hand patterns. So that means before we do anything, you actually are going to skip down here and get used to this melody. We're in 3/4 time. We have dotted quarter notes. Remember dotted quarter notes? We have 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. Ba da 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 da. 2 da. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't have a piano up here. I am in my little morning room where I squish kitty cats that are not in here right now. So I don't have my keyboard, but I think you kind of see where I'm going with that. We have DCL Fine. So you play the whole song back to the beginning and then you end at Fine. You have some ties. Same thing with your fingering. Right here, I would actually be thinking about this together and then this together. So I personally would probably do my one finger or my two finger here, and then I would do my one finger or my two finger here. So you would want to go through and familiarize yourself with the right hand and label what you think the fingering should be. And I don't want you to finger every single note, only right in the fingering of when your hand needs to move, when something needs to move. Other than that, you shouldn't have any other fingering. And you shouldn't be marking notes either. As far as the chords go, you should know these chords. Remember that this right here just means it's a C chord with G on the bottom. But if you go to this other page, go through all these blocked chords. They show you the G7 too, that's helpful. They show you some inverted stuff, okay? So get used to these chords. Let's go to the G9. What is the G9? Well, whatever, don't worry about that. Here they are with the broken, and then this is the what? The 151? Yeah, the 151, or the octave chord. Tonic, dominant, tonic. So then I would say Skyboat Song would be next. And that, my darling, should be plenty to keep you busy. Um, if not, text me and let me know, but I think that you'll be okay. I would like to start you on your theory and sight reading books. So I'm not for sure if you have these or not. There's a sight reading and then there's a theory one. We can wait because we're doing the chord progressions. But whatever. This should keep you busy for a while though. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll talk to you soon.